Sean G. Hold up, let me put my advertising. Stay right there. You gotta advertise. Always advertise. Watch that logo show up. Check me out. Watch this. Boop. Gotta keep the logo up. Hold on. God bless me. Check my coffee out. It's cold. Gumby Publishing, The Stigmatism in My Soul, Sean Xavier Gumby Sr. The podcast was sold. We do not wish to slander, libel, defame, or hurt anybody. We are talking about actual court documents related to a federal case involving Sean Combs, aka Puff Daddy, aka Diddy, aka P. Diddy. All of these documents are available on pacer.org. You have to pay for them, but they're publicly available to all 8 billion people on the planet. So, now, there's a chance that Diddy gets this case dismissed. There's a chance before trial that this case gets dismissed. The government withdraws their prosecution. Just a chance. Calm down, calm down, calm down. Before you start jumping all over me, but shut up, and just hear me out. Or Diddy goes to trial and gets found innocent. There's a chance, right? Now, what we're going to talk about today, we know that Cassie Ventura, who Puffy was in a 10-year relationship with, right? She was signed to Puffy's label, Bad Boy Entertainment. He was in a 10-year romantic relationship with her. They were in love. It's expressed. She expressed it in her actions. Number one, she was with him for 10 years. And other things that she did. When what was Puffy's children's mother's name? What was her name? Kim Porter. When Kim Porter passed away, Cassie went to the memorial services. Cassie is one of the government's witnesses against Diddy in this case. She will most likely be called to testify. If she changes her mind and decides not to testify, that would be a serious blow to the government's case and a tremendous win for Diddy. Even if she doesn't decide to withdraw, even if Cassie decides to continue to testify, that wouldn't be good for Diddy. But Puffy's defense has significant ammunition that this girl is motivated. A lot of her actions have been motivated by greed, right? And that a lot of what she says can be disproved. There's another part in this motion. This is a letter written by Diddy's attorney in lieu of a motion that talks about, I guess Puffy had a band, a female band called Diddy, and one of the girls in the band has come out since all of this has taken place and alleged certain transgressions and behaviors by Puff against her. I don't know if she's filed a suit. She most likely has, trying to get some money. Another girl in the same band, Diddy, who was there at the same time that this other girl who claims and alleges these things happen, comes out in here in the paperwork and says, I didn't see none of that. I ain't see Diddy do none of that. I don't remember none of that. And I was there the whole time. I didn't see nothing of what she's alleging against Puffy did I see. So now you have two people giving totally divergent stories about the same incident. That is not good for the government in their prosecution. That's not good. So these are the things that could go in Puffy's favor. Now, they are alleging, the government, the reason Puffy hasn't received any bond or bail to get out is because they say he's going to obstruct justice. He's going to obstruct justice, and he's going to contact witnesses and try to get them to change their story with his power, his influence, his money. So for that reason, he can't be, he's a danger to the community, and he has a propensity and a history of obstructing justice, which means getting to witnesses and getting them to not testify or change their story. Now, just a hypothetical thought. This is just me. My hypothesis, conjecture, guesswork. Cassie has already received the settlement from the civil lawsuit that she filed against Puff, that Puff handled in a day. He settled it with her. I don't know what the number was. I've heard $5 million or whatever the amount of money was. So she's received money from her civil lawsuit. She won. She tried to extort him out of $30 million with this tell-all book. He didn't bite. Now, she, I think, is labeled in this document. They don't have her name. They just have victim 1 and victim 2, right? Who the prosecution, the government, is going to call as government witnesses to testify against Puff. And she's probably going to be one of them. Do you know how foul that would be for her to do that? And do you not think that she has some people in her life, some friends, girlfriends, maybe family, people that she trusts, telling her like, come on girl, like you really gonna do this? You gonna do this to Puff after all he did for you? Yeah, things wasn't always good. Y'all had a rocky relationship, but look at what the nigga did for you. You understand? Let's go through the bullet points and go down the list of all the things he did for you. That very well could happen, and she could come to her senses and say, you know what, I can't do this man like that. I'm not going to testify. That would be a major blow to the prosecution. Let's get into the paperwork. So, dangers to the community. This is page 9 of a 15-page document that you can get down on paper. This is from Puffy's attorneys. Number 3, danger to community. The government has argued that Mr. Combs is a danger to the community, and that what makes this defendant even more dangerous is his extensive and exhaustive history of obstruction of justice. They laid out several allegations that do not, in fact, amount to obstruction at all. The truth is that Mr. Combs has done nothing to obstruct this investigation, and the government does not persuasively argue otherwise. Moreover, while over the past 6 months, the defense has been conducting a defense investigation, meaning Puffy and his lawyers have been conducting their own investigation, every bit as rigorous as that being conducted by the government. We have studiously avoided interviewing grand jury witnesses, even though we have the right to interview anyone, and have done everything in our power to be both effective and mindful of the fact that the government has been conducting an investigation parallel to our own. So Puffy has the right to interview Cassie or any of the defense witnesses. B, contacting potential victims and witnesses. The government argues that Mr. Combs himself has contacted witnesses, including one who received the grand jury subpoena, and at least one victim. Again, this is not obstruction of justice, and the government does not point to any obstructive conduct. Mr. Combs is entitled to gather witnesses to defend himself against the government's allegations of trafficking and racketeering. As a part of that defense, he, with counsel's blessing, has called potential defense witnesses to let them know that we would be reaching out to speak with them. Tellingly, the government does not point to, nor can they point to, any conversation Mr. Combs has had with a potential witness since he had knowledge of the criminal investigation where he pressured any witness to change their story. Here's the part. Check this part out. Instead, the government points to Mr. Combs' contact with a female member of a band called DIDDY, Dirty Money, after the filing of a lawsuit against Mr. Combs by another female member of the band. As counsel stated at yesterday's bail hearing, this is the furthest thing from witness obstruction I can think of. Check this out. And so someone with the exact point of view of the civil plaintiff comes forward and says, in essence, and this is, I thought it was a soft, respectful statement. And the statement was, this is the other girl in the band, Diddy Dirty Money, coming forward in Puffy's defense. I'm not taking away her experience. That wasn't mine. That wasn't my experience. She is entitled to her experience. I was there. That's not what I saw. That's not what I saw. That's two witnesses having divergent recollections of similar events. And I expect this trial is going to feature exactly that. So there is nothing wrong with that. That's why we have criminal trials and civil trials. Here is the Cassie part, and we went over this in another video. First, there is one alleged SEX trafficking victim in the indictment. One. The government can say what it wants, but what is actually charged is one victim. Count 2, charging trafficking, mentions victim 1. There is no victim 2. That one person was in a 10-year romantic relationship with Combs. That one person was an adult woman who lived alone, who never lived with Sean Combs. She had her own friends, she had her own life, As adults tend to do, Mr. Combs and this person were very much in love for a long time, as the many written communications between them show. This one person often expressed anger and jealousy because Mr. Combs had another girlfriend, as will be testified to by many witnesses and as the written communications show. At the end of Mr. Combs's and this person's relationship, Cassie's relationship, she started a relationship with her trainer, which prompted Puffy and the woman to break up. He did not force her to stay, but instead released her from any obligation to his record label. A month later, when the mother of 4 of Mr. Combs' children passed away, this person, victim 1, Cassie, was present at multiple memorial services around the country to support Puffy. The evidence shows a long-term loving relationship that became strained by mutual infidelity and jealousy. So there's a chance. Peace.